Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Paterson, and welcome to another video. First off, I've got a bit of news. I am coming to the US of A. So if you're in the USA and you'd like to take part in one of my workshops, then you can. I'm doing Logotype Workshops in San Francisco and Denver, Colorado, and I'm also doing a speaking talk thing at New York. If you're part of any of those places, or you can fly to one of those, or if you really want to meet me, then click the links down below and you can purchase your tickets for Denver, Colorado, which is based in downtown Denver, and San Francisco, which I believe is based in downtown over there as well. I'm going to be talking about how to create a logo design from scratch, no matter how much experience you actually have, and it will really get you ahead of the game, especially if you're learning it, or even if you know hand lettering and logo design and you watch all my videos, it will still give you a lot of help when it comes to creating professional, clean logo types for companies. It's going to be more of the drawing aspect of how to draw a logo type and refine it and refine it and refine it, and some key elements that I have not yet talked about on this channel. So make sure you click those links down below before all the seats get taken up, because there's only 20 in each workshop, so you got to be quick. Let's get on to the logo critique. This video is sponsored by Dev Mountain. So the first one is from Paul Mang. Paul Mang's a 17-year-old student, and he created this in his design school, or his design class. He created this project. Now the brief was to create an airline logo with your last name and air at the end of it. Now the reason why I can tell this logo is good already is because I can see it already. So one of the great things about logo design, it's not aesthetic, it's just about the functionality of how it works. So businesses need to be able to see it, people need to be able to remember it, and stuff like that. So you can see here Mang Air. Now the first thing that I love about this is your choice in typeface. Your choice in typeface is amazing. I like it a lot. I'm not sure what typeface you've got there. I want to say it's Futura, but I'm not too sure. The typeface works really well. You've got good contrast there, so we can see it's Mang Air. Now I also like the star there because it works well. I like the fact that you can see sort of a UFO or a plane in there as well. I keep saying UFO because I'm obsessed with this channel called Secure Team. Go and check them out. But this looks really nice. You've got a great color combination there, and this color combination can work anyway. It works in black and white. It works for these colors. You've got really nice blues. I believe that's blue. Let me just zoom in. That's like a really dark blue. One thing that I would change though is that here in the actual breaks of this sort of gray blue star, I would go ahead and change it to the angle of this one. So you don't cut it just randomly like so, but you cut it within accordance to the angle. So here it would be sort of horizontal, and this one would be on the 45-degree angle. But I really like it. It works really well when it's small, as I can see. It will work really well when it's big, and it looks professional and trustworthy, which is important for airlines to have. It needs to have a reputation, and it also needs to look trustworthy. Am I talking way too quick? I quit coffee because I have not been well, and I'm back in the office and I've just drank a cup of coffee and I am actually buzzing. Okay, so the next one is from MB Design. He says, Merry Christmas, Will. He made a fake company logo for a coffee shop called Roastero. I believe that is how it is pronounced. Now, the cool thing about this is that he's provided mock-ups as well. So whenever you send me a logo design for me to critique, always send a mock-up of how it's going to be used so I can actually see what it's going to be like. Everything that you give me actually helps me understand a bit more about the company that you're doing it with. I don't want to just look at the aesthetics of the logo. I mean, I will comment on the aesthetics of it, but I want to see the functionality, because functionality comes before aesthetics. Now, the first thing about this logo is that I can see that you've got a nice textured art in there. I'm not too sure if that's hand lettered or if it is a font, but I like the look of it. It looks very hipstery, it looks textured, but the main problem that I'm seeing is that the circle around it, or this sort of path, the elliptical path around it, is very clean. It doesn't look worn, and it looks kind of out of place from the R. Now the reason why is because you need to have things consistent. So what I would suggest doing is having the texture on the outside circle as well. You've got another image here of some of the ways that this is going to be used, which looks really nice. I'm just going to configure my screen for a second. You've got these nice images here of the products there. I think you did this in the new Adobe platform. What's it called? Adobe Dimension. It looks really nice. But the problem that I'm seeing with this is the fact that I would not use this as my company logo. And that doesn't mean you've done a bad job. It just means that you've skipped a step. Now, the reason why I wouldn't use this as a company logo is because when people see this, and because you're not a huge business, no one's going to know that this is like a coffee shop. People are just going to say that's an R within a circle. Logo design is supposed to be simple, so when someone looks at that logo, they know what it is. Now, you could say, you know, the Apple logo is kind of weird because if no one knew about the company Apple, they would just look at it and be like, yeah, it's an apple. But they got the name of the company, it's Apple. That's why we have typographic logos for things like this, or icons that complete the design itself. I know the Starbucks logo's got that weird Medusa sort of thing on it. I haven't done any research into it, but I'm sure they'll have some ideas of coffee in there. But the thing that I'm getting at is basically this logo, it works, but it doesn't work. It's one of those situations where you'll need to go back to the drawing board and work out whether this art is a good icon to have. Now, I noticed over here in this one, you've got the art as the icon, and then you've got the logo type down here, so the typography of it. Now, I really like the typography because it's vintage, it's detailed, not too detailed, but it's detailed enough. It looks very, very rough, and also got the hipstery vibe, which is what a lot of coffee shops want to have, and it looks nice. Now, the problem that I'm having with this is that it does not work within the circle again, but I would just get rid of this icon, make a new icon, keep the type, and make a new icon basically. You've got another one here, looks really nice. Problem is, again, the weight and the balance of the circle as well, the actual thickness of the line is too much compared to this one here. So if you're going to have a circle there, make sure you decrease the stroke value because you've got to work out how thick this line is here, or these lines. You want to keep things consistent, and the best way of doing that is, like, another little trick that I use is I either go into Illustrator and do a Gaussian blur, or I blur out my work to see whether it is noticeable or if there's any places where it's not balanced. Now, if you squint your eyes with me, go on. You can see that the circle is way too thick and way too overbearing for what's in the middle of it. You want to keep them complete. The next one is from Andy, and he says this: "Hi world, this is a logo from my first startup company. It's the first logo you've created. It's called Slide Pixels. Slide Pixels is a presentation design studio, so the logo contains a presentation symbol and some squares for the representation of a pixel. So please let me know what you think." Okay, so I'm not too sure what the company's about. You design presentations for people, I'm guessing. Now, the first thing that I like is, again, I'm a type fan, so I love the typeface you've got going on here. Not too sure what it is. Looks really nice. It looks blocky, which suggests pixels. Looks very nice. It's readable, legible, and you've got the color scheme going really well here with the nice dark blue-gray or nearly black with the yellow. But the yellow in the outskirts here, because this yellow here in the center of the actual icon is bright, it looks kind of dull in the background, so you've got to watch out for that as well. Another thing that you've got to keep in mind with logos like this is that if you've got to be quite literal. So this is weird. I mean, this is a bit weird for me because you've got a 1:1 aspect ratio for the icon. Now, when I think of presentations, I think of a 16:9 aspect ratio, and that is because I see presentations on my iMac display, which is 16:9. I see it on a 16:9 TV or presenter, what's it called, a projector. So having this icon maybe in 16:9 would make it look less like a speech bubble and more like a presentation. I would work a bit more on the pixels side of it because it looks like you just stack things on top, and you've got clever use of shadows and stuff, and it can work, and it does work really well. But again, I don't actually know much about your company or what you guys do, so I can't really comment on this too much, other than if it is for slide or like presentation slides that you were designing, then I would go ahead and create that in 16:9 just so it looks a bit more literal to the company, so it works better. Okay, and the last one is from Mohammed Sahid, and he says, "Hi Will, big fan of your videos. This logo I designed for myself, and it includes the initials of my name, that is M and S. Please critique it so I can improve it." Okay, so first thing is, Mohammed, you haven't given me what it's for. So you've told me you've designed it for yourself, but there is no context behind it, so I can't really comment on the context other than I'm going to assume that you are a designer and this is for you. Now, I cannot see an M or an S. Oh no, I can see an M. Oh, I can see the S now, yeah. For me, this looks like one of those stealth aircraft that you get. And the problem with this is that this logo has no context to it. What I think you've got here is a great illustration. It looks cool. I think you've got a nice stealth bomber illustration, but it's not a logo design. I don't think if you were to design this for like me or someone else that I would accept this as a logo. I would accept this as a nice icon or a logo for maybe a different company or an icon, but there's no context to this. Now, it does work when it's small, but you've got all these little different breaks and too much space in between them. Not enough space in between them. It does look cool. I think you can get away with it if you wanted to, but I would suggest going back to the drawing board. It doesn't mean that you've done bad work at all. It just means that you've skipped a step. You need to make sure you're researching research into this a little bit more so you know what you're talking about and you know where to design and you know what it's for. Such as for me, I'm a hand lettering artist and you guys may not know my logo. I choose not to brand everything, which is very ironic for my channel because it's all based on branding. But if you go to my website, you can actually see my logo, which is just a hand-drawn little scribble of my name, and it works because I'm a hand lettering artist and a logo designer that works within Logotype design, and it works. People can see what I'm about through that. So you've got to take things into context and see what happens. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. It has been awesome to be back. I am feeling a lot better. I've not been well. It's been a bit of a tough week or two for me. Things have been going on. I've moved house and I'm going to America. There's a lot going on. So the channel's a bit sporadic at the minute, but things will be okay. And also YouTube is not notifying my subscribers about new videos, hence why there is less views on all my videos. So make sure you press that little bell and don't miss out on any of my videos. This video is actually sponsored by Dev Mountain. If you're wanting to learn UX design, Dev Mountain gives you that ability on their 12-week design course. At Dev Mountain, you learn everything from UX design and how to get a job in the industry of design. That is the main point and objective of them. So if you're wanting to learn how UX design works or more about Dev Mountain, make sure you click that link down below in the description and go and check them out and see what they do and what they're all about. You will not regret it. It is a very cool thing that they do. And also get learning UX design. It's going to be huge. All right, guys, my last video in the UK for a while. I'm going to miss this office, but I'm not going to have one because I'm going to be vlogging about and doing these videos in a different, more creative way in America, in the land of the USA. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll make sure to post as much as I can. Make sure you check me out on Adobe Live, check out my workshops and all that, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you soon. Goodbye.